So we were at this point, we had a bit of a difficult demotic line last time, but I think we figured it out. I think everything, and then we realized that this had to be that the every good thing, like everything good thing, had to be the subject of whatever happened after EE. So everything, every good thing that. How did we translate this core that left? Or this ha, I mean. Oh my God! This is the same problem. I think I translated it in the Discord right after the class.
Maybe abandoned.
Abandoned. That abandoned, and then Payuki was their form.
Their form, the natural state, something of that nature.
Yes, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Being Iwef Ini. He and so him having brought or bringing them to and to their Genef, which is, I can't even remember what that means now. I'm trying to find back the thing I had.
For anybody who's not part of this chat, they must be wondering what we're talking about. So much fun stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
yeah, right.
Balance or something, or equivalent?
Yes, that's right. It was. I translated it measure. I see. So exactly. So I said everything that had lost its way, or that was abandoned for a long time, he brought them to their, and then the what Spiegelberg reconstructs here is emter, which means satisfactory, or correct or right measure. He brought them to their right balance.
Now I did. So go ahead.
No, I was done.
Okay, so while we're on that, I noticed you translated the UF ini as a circumstantial while he brought it. As we're doing this, I'm wondering if this was late Egyptian, long stretches of UF her infinitive would be completely normal for past narration. I mean, that's how you would do the past. And then as you go into Demotic, that goes away and it becomes longer strings of past Sejm Fs. Sejm Fs. Okay, whatever. But yeah, you know what I mean. I'm wondering if this here could also just be a simple past narration. In other words, is the UF her something, which is a narrative form of late Egyptian, which later dies out. Could that be applicable in Ptolemaic or not? I don't have the answer to that. I just want to raise that, if we're really looking at the circumstantial here, or if that's supposed to be narrative. And
that's a great question. I have no idea. So if we can maybe, sometimes the Greek is very sort of useful for that. So we begin, if we go 2 sentences back, we begin with henef. So we have a regular Sejm F, and which supposedly is past tense, and then we have a regular Greek aorist, so that's fine. He ordered. And then we get Apelusen, another aorist. What is the equivalent in the Demotic? UIF, another Sejm F.
True.
Then we come to our sentence, and then it is something, which is actually the object. Apokatestasen. He brought it back. He returned it. He put it back. That's also a aorist, I think. Yeah. No, that is that.
Aorist or perfect? Which one is it?
Yeah, right. Thank you. Because if it's no, I think it's an aorist. I was going to say you had to have an augment, but the augment is actually here. Apokata. I think it's an aorist, and I can say that because if it had been a perfect, we wouldn't have the augment. Okay, so it's an aorist, and that is what we get here with EUF. but in this case, we have sort of the object is all of this in a way. The text fronts the object, which it also does for the Greek. So I don't know if that's why we have to have an EUF here, because they want to emulate the Greek by not putting the verb at the very beginning.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's where we really need some Ptolemaic grammar. Maybe we just skip it for the moment. Does it have something to do with the fronting? Lots of questions now in my head. Why do we suddenly switch from this whole long string of sejum F past tense forms to something where the main action seems to be described by a UF plus infinitive? But yeah, very good point. Could have something to do with the syntax here. I don't know. Could be a good follow-up. Let's continue. Don't want to hold it up for too long.
No, but it's really excellent point, really. I see that here we have a verb in the beginning, but the sentence before as well has apélusen, has a sort of fronted genitive object in this case, but that's just because the verb takes a genitive object. But it's also a fronting kind, but the demotic does not front it in this case. So, you know.
Well, question about that. Now I have to ask. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, in Latin, the verb routinely goes to the end. That's just the way that every sentence is, right? Well, almost. How about Greek? I mean, is it really fronting or?
Yeah, it's a good point. I just sort of read, because, right, we have this Rosetta accent, but it's still, I think the order here is still interesting in a way. So is this sort of is this an emphatic verb maybe? Prosetaxen, the kaiten, sulepsin, and then it sort of switches into a more regular form in a way. Yeah, because I agree. There's nothing sort of shocking about this word order. And actually, this is the object. I screwed up this time. Apélusen, he sort of abolishes the two parts of all the stuff that goes there. So this is actually okay. I just feel like I'm getting more confused now. Let's leave it at that. At the confusing part. Okay. And we can come back to it or not. Anyone wants to go take a stab at the demotic at our next sentence?
I can give it a shot.
Yes, I need my red color. Okay. I think, sorry, I will just say that this first part here is, I don't think I should have included it. This sort of, I think this belongs to this word that might be meter. So you can just begin from here.
I mean, like, I didn't want to take up too much more time, talking about stuff that we did in the previous session, but for that mater or mate, whatever, I can't remember if you said what that was based off of, like a comparable stele, because I was curious about the word. I think the word, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably the most likely candidate, but I'm wondering, like, if it's reconstructed, based off of like other stele.
I don't know. I know that it comes up. Oh yeah, I'll just see what you sent. Let's see. Mate. It's genießen, right? That means to enjoy or something. No, what does that mean?
Then
it does to enjoy something too.
Okay. Okay, so this is the, yeah, right, and down here we have the method. Okay.
The English something like a reach, obtain, or hit the mark, or succeed, be successful, something like that on the Crum entry.
Because we will get it soon. Actually, I can maybe, I don't know if it's here already or if it's in a sentence a bit further down. Method does come up as a verb. I just can't recognize it. And then it probably does somewhat fit with this ending here, but I can't say right now. Maybe we can come back to it when we reach the verb for method.
All right, sounds good. All right, so So going with what you said, I'll just skip that those first few.
Yeah,
glyphs.
we can skip them.
All right. So this starting with the second part here, then that's maybe like the two strokes, like the A or like the EU that become an A or something like that, like a prosthetic sort of sound or like circumstantial or something like that.
Yeah, right. This is like an EU, and then so the transcription I have has it as EUF. So we sort of have to imagine that this is a significant deviation here.
Yeah.
That we've seen, right? And I think maybe we have it at the end as well. I thought it was a bit short this time, but okay, it makes sense. EUF.
And the next one is one of those common verbs. First one I'm going to guess is ire, like to do.
Yep, that's right.
And then the next few, maybe the top one is an N.
Mm-hmm.
And the next two, like the ones below that, I'm not sure.
They go together. They're also a one-sounded, so uniliteral in a way. If you remember.
Uniliteral, but one's, let's see. I don't know.
It's B. So I think B can have. So I don't remember quite the sounds. That B can be like this, or it can be like this, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I recognize both those forms. The second one that you wrote with like the L shape, I'm used to like seeing like the L shape like have like a little like curl as if it's like, like going down and then going horizontal, whereas this is just like like that. Whereas like this one doesn't look quite like that. You don't see that like little loop in the corner part.
Yeah, it should have something like this. Yeah. Anyway.
So N, B, and then that third one, is that a plural like W, like the Z, whatever it is?
Yeah, it's a W, but this is if it were a plural stroke, they're usually just straight. So when they are with the little sort of hook at the end, then it comes from wa, it comes from the lasso or whatever that is, that sign that has something like this, or I don't remember exactly how it is, but
so it's really a literal. It's a W Aleph.
It's actually just W at the end. In Demotic, it becomes just W.
W.
Even though it does come from the wa.
Next one is I'm going to say determinative.
Yeah. So what would that be? That would be probably the hand to mouth, I guess. Hand to mouth man.
Maybe, although I haven't seen a lot of Demotic, but like I've seen that glyph used as a determinative in so many instances that like my impression was that it's like a generic sort of determinative that you can't really map onto like one hieroglyph. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let's see again. I feel like Johnson has it sort of as the A2 Gardner sign, but I see what you mean, and I don't know how much we would have to look at many. Like, for example, that word that we're coming to now. Oh, maybe it was a bit earlier. Here we go. I think she has. Yeah, right. So she does sort of put this sign as the A2, but yeah.
Or maybe
I don't really know what that.
Maybe it's more like it does mean it is an A2, but like the Demotic words that they use it for, those words don't necessarily have an A2 determinative in earlier Egyptian. Like it's like how that determinative, like with the hand that's like holding the cane or the hook or something, is like that seems to be used for more words in Demotic as a determinative than maybe it was used in earlier Egyptian.
Yeah, that's very possible. Here we see that it has two writings: the one with the A2 and the other one with the dying or falling, the fallen man. And we don't, at least the DPDP doesn't give any other phases for that word.
Okay. Good to know.
Hmm.
The next one is neb. And the next one, that diagonal, is R, maybe.
Yep.
Next one, either a T or maybe one of the forms of a D, like give, but I think that's usually like more pointed down rather than pointed up.
No, it is usually pointed up. It's just maybe not so pointy. It's sometimes more like rounded. But yeah, that's what we're working with here.
And that's specifically, this form is specifically the infinitive, right, with the T at the end?
I think so. I think that when it's like this, I can't exactly remember how it should be. If it is, well, sometimes it's, how is it written? Two. Sometimes they transcribe it as two, so there's sort of like a T and then a. Let's have a quick look so that we can separate them. Two to give. So it often has these kinds of glyphs that I think are sort of not infinite verbal forms, or but I'm not really sure here. Or often this one is very common, which is just two. And then we have specifically, if I maybe go, yeah, just this one, right? That's supposedly, that's in Johnson, that's an infinitival spelling.
All right. This next one, I might have seen it before, but I don't think I could guess what it is.
Yeah, they're sort of stuck together, but if you separate them, if you just imagine that there's actually a gap in between.
Maybe it's Erie plus plural W again, maybe?
That's exactly what it is.
Oh.
Erie. Ooh.
And the next one, probably a definite article, maybe a pa or a na.
Yeah, right. Did you say pa or ta?
I said pa or na. So like the masculine or the plural.
It would be ta or na in this case, because the masculine sometimes it's written like this, and in the Rosetta Stone we've often seen it just like a little loop like this. And then it has these abbreviated forms when it's pi f and stuff like this. But when it's this number 2, it's usually ta or na. So let's just skip it for now.
Okay. Next one is maybe a uniliteral n, maybe, or not like a, but like, I mean uniliteral in Demotic, but like it comes from the new the pot.
Oh yeah, like there's a glyph that goes a bit like this, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's not that one then.
No, it's not that one. This is we've had it a few times before. It's been a while now, but this is
relative.
Yeah.
NT.
Yes, that's it. So this is NT. So it's maybe a bit larger than you could also imagine. Sometimes the M, the uniliteral M, is just like this, maybe a bit smaller, but in this case it's NT. Yeah.
And the next one, N, or maybe I'm gonna guess N.
N, yeah.
Next one, uniliteral. The top one, uniliteral Z or S.
Mm-hmm.
The door bolt.
Mm-hmm.
One below is another N. This next one looks familiar. Yeah, like I want to say like a definite article because like it looks really familiar, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, but it's part of the word though, and the determinative comes here, so we're sort of not done with the one word. It's also uniliteral. We haven't. It's. I feel like when I see it sort of written stereotypically, it's written something like this, and then I never actually see it like that. Neither in well, the text I've seen basically is this one in Ankh-Shishonki.
Is it that T that like is that T that has like a unique uniliteral transcription transliteration in Demotic, like the T with the caret underneath.
Yeah, this one,
Yeah.
exactly. So some kind of preserved T
Yeah,
in a
like
way.
something that's supposed to be pronounced, in other words. And okay, so that's a determinative, and then the next one is N.
Yeah, N.
And then another Iriu. And another N. And then probably a ta or a na definite article, but following from the previous example, I guess we could just skip this one for the time being if you think that's wise.
Sure. I think you will figure it out quickly from this one.
This one looks like it looks like the first two could be Necheru, maybe?
Yeah, that's it. So, and this is a plural. This is probably the horizontal, maybe something like this.
I see.
And then, so the article becomes?
The article would be plural then, na.
Yeah.
All right, and the next one is an N. And I'm not sure what's going on with this next one.
We had it here, but in this case it was sort of with a gap, and then down here it's sort of written all together. But you have what are the three strokes here though? Sorry.
I don't know. Other than plural strokes, I don't know.
Just a Y, so like a uniliteral, or a Y, and then this determinative is the determinative for the. I want to say it's a mummy, but I'm not sure. The determinative you have in words like image and form and stuff like that.
Like the mummy that's like upright?
Yeah, the upright mummy, exactly. So that's the upright mummy. And I can just.
So I remember now. So that very first one, it's a G then.
Yeah, right. And I think that sort of this part here is kind of this little glyph in a way that becomes there, and we see it better maybe here because that's the G glyph, and then down here we have an R, and I don't know what happens with that R sound, but it becomes just this word we saw last time.
Yeah. All right. And then these next two are another A sound, like the vowel, from U.
Plus?
F.
Yeah, plus F, exactly.
And this next one, I'm going to guess another relative, like noun phrase maybe. So like NT, iri.
This is actually, and now we come to the thing that I was looking for. Actually, it's all of this is a word. So it's a uniliteral in this time.
M.
M, yeah.
So M. And if this next one is not an N, like from the from NW, which that's probably not it. If it's a uniliteral, maybe.
It's something else this time. It's the phallus. What's that? D52 or whatever.
Just like an actual.
You know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that has a bilateral pronunciation.
So it's for the sound. So MT.
MT, I mean, it was exactly.
MT, but here it's just. So these two together are the MT then.
Yeah.
The next one, is it a uniliteral Y? Or
Right. So this could have been. This could be sort of several things. Like there is this one uniliteral that looks like this. Which do you remember it?
S.
S, exactly. And because I was trying to figure out what is going on there, and that sort of was the first thing. And then you have the two strokes, which would be just I guess. And in this case, it's not none of those. And I can't really figure out. It's these two vertical strokes are the digits, like the two fingers. That's what the DPDP transcribes it at. So if I look up the word, it has, if I find something similar. Yeah, right. So we have M, we have the phallus with a T, met, we have two digits, and then we have, I don't know what that is, that last thing either. It's the tusk glyph. So I don't know if that's supposed to become an R or an E. You see that it has an MT, or it can be pronounced MT. I don't really know what the phonetic value is of that final part there.
You said those two diagonal strokes are the two fingers. Is it not just a Y sound?
Yeah, right. But usually the thing that sort of puzzles me is that usually then those are derived from the feather and the U, or the sort of wavy U glyphs, and in this case they give us the double finger. But my sort of, I agree, but basically my sort of reflex would be to have it as an MT, in this case with an E and not a Y, because there are two strokes instead of three. Yeah. Sort of according to Johnson's transcription.
I mean,
then at the end here sorry.
No, if I may jump in real quick for the double fingers, or basically double verticals, they in the word matter, for to like testimony, to testify, they're always in there. I'm not sure why they're in there. I'm assuming they're determinative rather than a sound sign, a phonogram. Or you could have the two throwing sticks instead, which I'm assuming is an abbreviation. But that's really common. So I'm wondering if that carries over in this word just because it has a similar phonetical structure.
That seems right, though. Now I'm looking up the be satisfied, or the what means to be correct, to precise. What is it, an adjective originally?
Yeah,
and they all have.
I was gonna say a bit about that because like at least the earlier hieroglyphic structure was MTR, and whether the R is still pronounced or not is
definitely
questionable. But
definitely
if it's
long dead,
if it's or yeah, definitely not. But I was going to say that, like, whether it's the one that means testimony or the one that means like to be successful or to hit the mark, the testimony one is only a noun. Like when you want to use it as a verb, at least in Coptic, you would say like iri mentre, like like to be a witness or to do testimony. And for the mate, or for the one that means like to be successful or hit the mark, that's an actual verb, which does have a stative form in the crumb link that I put. So so maybe like figuring out whether it's like a noun or a verb would help us decide whether which lemma it should be. Does it make more sense as witness, or does it make more sense as like to be successful or something like that? But then this one, so like the actual entry starts all the way at the bottom of the left column. It's like literally the bottom line, and then
it starts here.
Yeah, and then it shows like the regular infinitive forms, and then at the very top there's one attested stative form in Sahidic Mato, and I did see a W, I think, in the Demotic, that vertical line at the end.
You're completely right. Yeah.
So I don't remember if I saw it for the one that means testimony when you looked up on the TLA, but does this word in the TLA also have the double fingers?
So this is the word that when you have the DPDP sort of mate, satisfied verb, when they give us the previous word, adjective that means correct or precise, that also has the double fingers in
I
it.
see. So they both have the double fingers.
And the
Yeah,
testimony also has, if you were to look for like a method just in general, to testify.
Let's do that.
Just as a little side. It doesn't have. It has a two. I mean, to
this
witness.
one.
Yep, there it is.
And it also means to instruct, and I've seen that or instruction, teaching is also comes up in Demotic as a meaning.
You also have the verbal nouns in W. If you go down a little bit, just on the previous screen, if you look down further on the screen, they're like metru, witness, and testimony. Those are really common for good reason. Lots of court cases. So yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I should amend what I said then about like one is only a verb and one is only that obviously doesn't apply here, because it could have still the one that means like witness or testimony, that could have still been had like because I think I saw verb forms for it in the TLA when you just had it up, so it could have still had like verb forms that were around in Demotic that are no longer there in Coptic. So I guess on those grounds it could still be either one, but I think I'm still leaning more towards the one that means like to be successful or to be precise at this point. And I know I asked you in the Demotic channel a while back, like in general, are there any like surefire ways to tell in Demotic if something is a stative versus an infinitive? And you told me some things that Johnson said. I don't remember what they are, but just the form of this one, is there anything about it that looks to you like, oh, this is definitely a stative just by the form, or is it like really not so easy to tell?
I don't think the form, I don't think the verb itself, this part, but I think the fact that it has a third person plural u suffix pronoun at the end is the stative marker in this case. It's one of those verbs that, according to Johnson, kept any of the earlier stative endings and sort of froze them and uses them consistently, but as a marker of the stative, rather than as a marker of the person or what it agrees with.
Yeah.
Because here we do expect we don't expect a nominal form or infinitive. We have EUF, and it makes sense for me that it's a verbal form in a way. Sort of, I want to say conjugated, but sort of a verb. If that makes sense, I don't know if everybody agrees. And so that's why I think this is, as you say, a stative, and that's what there's the Crumb example, because it's possibly exactly this, the matou, that we have this u ending that was kept. Now I don't know what I should transcribe here, because meter seems a bit, the R seems a bit unsatisfying, but yeah. I'm a bit undecided. I saw they had a E in the DPDP. Why not?
Yeah, probably true.
Yeah. So okay, you wanna? This is a really I can't. I tried to figure this sentence out, but you can try first. Let's see what you can figure out.
Okay.
Are there any verbs that are clearly unknown words?
Maybe, but I'm gonna try to like throw out some options as I go through the sentence, and maybe you can tell me what you all think. So, and then I don't remember the rules. I don't remember all the rules about like if something's definitely an antecedent or if something's like a resumptive pronoun, but I'll still try. So, he, I don't know, like he doing or he having done or made, then Nabu, and again, like I can think gold, but I'm not sure if the W is still there even in the time of Demotic. It could be like gold is the first one I'm thinking of.
It's never written like this, Nabu. Gold.
All right, gold has like that weird it's almost like a circle with a dot or something. That means like jewelry or something. Maybe it's just like literally the word that means lords in plural.
Nah, it's a word that means care or anxiety or some kind of. It seems to be a demotic sort of exclusive word almost. That's what the DPDP said, but it means care basically, as a noun.
Okay. So he having done every care to make or maybe to cause they who are, and then since this earlier one, this nebu means like care or anxiety or something like that you said, this scent or snet or something, I'm gonna guess it's like snot, like the headless whatever, that headless chicken one, that means fear or like reverence or something.
Yeah, right. That's I remember that. What about this one?
Not a chicken. It's like a headless duck or something. It's like, you know, the feathers are plucked, I think.
Headless chicken.
That final T is preserved, and that word is definitely in Coptic.
Yeah, but it's not that word.
Oh, it's not that word.
It's not that word. I'm checking the snot, right? What about this one? I'm obviously I know I've checked the answer here, but this one.
Oh, that one's don't like a custom or fashion or something, or creation.
Yeah, more like that. Or that's what people think, at least.
But I think I've seen the hieroglyphic form of that, and it's just like the. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. It's like I would almost expect like a actual like not like uniliterals. I would expect like try to find it real quick. Give me a second here. Sorry, I'll just move on until I find it. So, So what's the English word I should go with for the time being? Like custom or creation or something?
Yeah, maybe custom.
And then I'll read this sentence over again once I sort of go through it this first time. They who make the gods the gods of a precise form, a successful form, something like that.
Yeah. Exactly, right? So you translated all of this together, right? Okay. Yeah, now I get it. Yeah, something like that. In its form being hitting that is the right one, that is the correct one, or the good one.
Yeah.
So okay. So you go ahead. Do you have something you want to sort of adjust or?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me try to custom. Okay. Let me give me a second here. Let me see if I can paste this in the chat real quick for the Sont one.
Mm-hmm.
I just left the other one right below, since it literally comes after. I figured just include it in the
Okay. I have it now. So here we have. Here we have then both Sonnet as custom that comes
whatever
from
that
this
thing
side.
is. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and then we have the snot that means fear, right, from Senedge. And then we have it here, and here we have sort of, well, the spelling here is from the Rosetta Stone, but
oh, I see. Okay, yeah,
Senate,
that does have the door belt one for the S, so that would make sense.
So there is some kind of they spell it out, right? So you're probably right that in earlier forms it's very often sort of written very laconically or very sort of briefly like this, and then they spell it out at some point in Demotic. Yeah, right. And that's why we have to sort of learn the words as words, maybe, and not as individual pieces in time. Mm.
So yeah, I'll take another shot at this. So he having made every care to cause them who are they who
there's a na in this. There's something here that we didn't
oh, that's right. That's right. So he having made every care to cause them, the ones who again I forgot, create, or they who create or fashion them, the gods who the gods in the gods in a precise form. And I was going to ask about this too, because in terms of like what's a direct object and what's an indirect object, is this Iryu? So is it saying like, you know, like he made the gods in a precise way, or is it saying like he made the gods who are like if you also if you took the non-netsharu out, could you just say like Iryu in you know, or no, there isn't Euf there, so I forgot that. So I think it's just saying like the gods who are, or the gods who are of a precise way. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to make of all this.
Yeah, it's a really tricky sentence. We can also come back to it, but because the Greek will sort of help us a lot. Maybe we do that, and we can sort of look at it again at a later point. I don't know what people think.
Yeah, that might be a good idea at this point. I didn't realize how late we are in this session, so
it's okay for me.
I'm totally fine with moving on to the hieroglyphic and Greek, and then coming back to the Demotic if we need to.
Honestly, I would even move to say, why don't we do the Greek first? Because I find both I mean, unless you guys feel very strongly about the hieroglyphic version being much clearer, which I don't.
I think we can do that. I agree. Let's begin with the Greek. If someone wants to start,
can give it a quick shot, if you like. So, Pronti my accents are going to be all over the place, so please correct. Prontizon, hopos, ta itis or etis mena.
Etis.
Synteletai or synteletai. Tois, yeah, that's an S, right? It's not an X. So tois, trelois, that's a sigma.
Yeah, right. So they've actually written it X, but it's a mistake, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
So I don't know how to mark that.
We know what it is. It has to be a dative because theois is in dative. Okay. Kata to prosekon. All right. So the first one is something adverbial, I'm assuming. So maybe like taking care, spending care, something like that. Hopos is likewise.
It's really a subjunction here that means in order that, so that.
Oh, I'm sorry, completely. I'm thinking about the wrong word. Thank you. So in order that what? In order that something synteletai. Synteletai is to get paid, right? That's a medio passive, third person. Singular. Singular?
Yeah, it's a singular.
which is interesting because I think what's getting paid, the ta etismena, that's a neuter plural. Was there something about neuter plurals getting the singular? I seem to remember something like that. Okay. From the little bit of Greek I ever took. Okay. All right. So then what are etismena?
It's the what usually happens, the things that are usually done.
So the customary whatever are being paid. So taking care that in order that the customary things are being paid to whom? Tois theois, to the gods. Katato prosekon, according to the whatever prosekon is, habit, custom, maybe, I don't know, form.
Yeah,
I'm
what
guessing.
comes to you.
What comes to you? Prosekon.
So
Okay.
yeah, but that means, as you say, according to the what is fitting, what is right, what should happen in a way.
Got it. Okay, so that was reasonably clear. Maybe with that we can attack the hieroglyphic part now.
I think I would read synteleta in this case because we had it earlier as paying, but just as it can also just mean to complete or to perform. That's the sort of that's the original, the more sort of generic meaning.
Makes more sense, right? Because we're not necessarily talking about money, but could be ritual, could be any old thing. Okay, all right. Makes sense.
Okay, should we try then to do the hieroglyphs then?
Yeah. So when enough hermech.
Sorry, this is not the moment. Okay, when then F. You said head.
Hermech. I'm not sure about this little spine here.
I think it's
I don't know what that is.
Mech.
It's part of it.
Oh, okay. EU or R?
Yeah, EU R.
Is the little A1 man part of the mech as well then? Mech?
Would that be?
It's not a suffix pronoun, is
it?
Can't be.
Not sure.
Must be part of it.
I think it's a word that means care. If you want to look it up.
The word mech here means care?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I didn't know.
Sure, why not?
I looked it up myself.
Sure. Good. Another thing that mech can mean. Great. Just what we needed. It didn't mean enough things.
It didn't mean enough things. No, you're right. A bit further down. There it is. Sorge, care.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
This one.
Okay. With the man.
Look at the other spellings. There you go.
Oh, there's the. Yeah.
Okay.
There's one that looks almost exactly like ours. That is ours. Is that our text?
So you mean this one?
Yeah, if you click on a little one, let's see what that is. No, it's a horror steamer.
In ours, the second H is superimposed over the Mac sign. Though.
True. So
almost exactly the same.
Would have been nice.
Yeah. Okay. So, were.
Yeah. Right.
Harir het neb. Toot.
Yeah, two.
I would expect another T though. Yeah.
Let's do like this.
And Iru.
What do I have?
I think.
And you.
M. question mark. Nu, Nacharu. Or N, yeah. Mi, Neti. Erdep, Meter, or Met, however we're saying this now. Okay. When in F.
Sorry, I just have to check what where N means, because so we have an expression.
Really?
Okay.
Wow, what a weird weird way to say because.
Right. And I'm not sure if it's, I mean, that fits here. When you said EU, I thought, yeah, of course. It's spelled EU, which means it's Erde, because they always spell EU when they want to say Erde, and they spell Erde when they want to say EU. So then I was looking for Erde, where, and there you go. It seems to be an expression, although it's kind of weird with a little word behind it. But it makes the most sense. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted to mean greatly, which would also maybe, I don't know. Just want to throw it out there that there's another thing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So he is taking care because, I mean, are these the her plus infinitives we were just talking about here? These her ear, her mech?
Yeah, I think so. I think he takes great care on doing. So this
doing
is sort
everything.
of depends on.
Doing everything, and then toot is like the form of doing, of their doing. I'm a little thrown by this, honestly.
I don't know how to make sense of this either. How toot sort of fits into this.
Toot and iru. Form of their doing. I'm going to blow past that. Something of the gods, like that which was Ertep. Is this what is Ertep?
Meter. So I think it's meter is the same as we have up here. Like it has to be something that is right or correct.
Yeah.
Maybe that's also an expression. Sorry, I haven't looked enough at this.
I'm sure it is, or tep. Feels like something I should know.
So we had tep nefer last time, which means good order or law. And then
asterisk. I would use asterisk. Maybe even before the tab.
If in case it's inverted.
No, I mean asterisk tab, asterisk metal. So you get everything that has those two lemmata in there.
Okay, awesome. Okay. Tab, asterisk, meter.
And nothing. Okay. Now you can be sure it's not there.
Okay.
So it's some version of in good order, in correct.
Yeah.
Righteousness in good order. Like what was in good order, basically. But I there's a lot in here I just don't understand.
Yeah, same. I mean, maybe a starting point could be the tut. What can tut all mean?
Tut, where written like this with the mummy usually means like a form, a figure, a statue. But I'm thinking form is what is meant here.
I think it can mean more, though. It can also mean like.
This one. To be like, to be sufficient, to be complete. I'm thinking...
Complete, right? It can also mean complete. Forgot about that. So maybe...
So how does that work grammatically? Is that sort of a relative? everything that is like they're doing.
Not that far yet. I'm wondering, or could it just be like neb? Could it be like completely? But the whole n thing is weird. Tut n.
Exactly.
Is that a thing? Tut n plus verb. I'm swimming here. I don't know. But let's have a look. What do we have with them? How is that tut used? How is tut
sorry.
used?
So let's quick. How is tut used? There we go.
Maybe start towards the end, because towards the end you're going to have the Ptolemaic
20.
examples. Mm-hmm. Oh crap! I have to run. Sorry, guys.
Okay, bye.
I'll keep the computer
Ciao.
running, but yeah, I have to.
Okay, so I don't know. So I sort of, I mean, the gist of it is that he takes great care. That is the equivalent of frontisdom. So the king, he took great care to cause. And I think EDU here we have to maybe take as a passive, that sort of it took care that be done the things that were in custom or according to custom. So he made done the things according to custom. Senate. But this N there throws me off. Yeah, okay. Maybe we should park it and then maybe think about it and write about it in the chat. I don't know if you guys have anything else. I really don't see anymore how this works.
Yeah. The only other, it still doesn't make sense, but the only other thing I could like suggest for the iru is that maybe it's a stative, like something that was made, but then you have an n right before it. I don't know if that's common. Usually you would just have like noun stative, right? You wouldn't need like a genitive n between the noun and the stative for tut and iru.
Yeah.
Well, especially if tut is a verb, then this really throws me. Verb and iru, I can't even wrap my head around that.
Yeah. So, but I'm sort of, I find this even more difficult. Yeah. So the tut will have to look at how this works. That we can sort of, I can look up in TLA afterwards. But here we have, he took great care that be done the things according to custom. Oh no, it's the same. I keep this like repeat, the same problem comes up every time. And then here it's that be done to the gods in a right fashion, in the correct way. That I so much want this to be sort of another relative to that be done in the customary way that is done towards the gods. Because what it means here really is he took care that the customary things were performed towards the gods according to what is right, in the fitting way.
Yeah. Unless
So
maybe the iru is like literally a noun. I think that's been suggested, like like their doings or something.
Yeah, because it must go with the het neb in the hieroglyphic. Iri het neb, everything that's done, or sorry, just to doing everything that's got to go with that to make it the customary, the everything customary. I don't know.
Like, and then the N is there.
Of what is done. Although we also have this mystery word before the netru, so that might be.
This one. Oh.
Yeah.
So he wants it to be read as maybe this is meter. I mean, it's missing a few signs in order to be meter, as far as I can tell. But
So wouldn't
we
that suggest that Meter is twice in this line then?
Yeah, that's what he's sort of
Seems
suggesting.
weird. And as a genitive, Meter and Neteru?
Yeah. I don't know. Can this be a verbal form? That tut n is a sort of Sejm F form, or some kind of form that has a n?
But then what's the Iru?
Yeah. Should we leave it at that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else I can make out of this right now.
Okay. And sure, and if anyone, I'll check some of the sort of standard works and see what they say, if they can help us, and then I'll post it in chat.
Okay.
Okay, but thanks, guys. Next week is Easter Monday, so we can skip that, I think, right?
Okay.
And then in the 2 weeks after, I'm traveling, but I'll just see how if I can make it work, but I'll keep you. I'll tell you.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. So
right.
see you.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Right. See you.